to this video. I am Natasja and today I am going to ask the cards, what do I need to know about my relationship? Or for you, what do you need to know about your relationship or your love life? But before I get to it, I want to thank all my new subscribers for joining, and I really hope your time on my channel is time well spent. I also implore you to please interact with this video so that I get noticed by the YouTube algorithm. You can do so by commenting, sharing, liking, subscribing, and click the bell icon if you like to be notified whenever I upload a new video. Also, you can contact me by email for a private reading, and you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram, even though I'm not very active there right now at the moment because it's crazy busy in my private life and I could barely find the time to do this reading for you. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's go to the choices. I have 4 andaras with me. I have the red one, which will be the first option. I have the pink one for the second option, the golden one for the third option, and the clear seafoam for the fourth option. The decks I am going to use is the Dream Enchantress Tarot deck. I modified it, I cut off the borders and I did some modifications with gold and silver linings in there. So this is the deck I will be using, and I am also going to use Whispers of Nature. I'm not sure if this is the translation in English. And I am going to use the Enchanted Map Oracle deck from Colette Baron Reid as well. I have a layout that's going to be 3 cards on this side for you, 3 cards on this side for your eventual partner, and 3 cards in the middle for the synthesis of both of you together. And I am going to draw an oracle card for both of you. So let's begin with the first option, which is the red andara. So let's turn over the card. We find the Ace of Swords, the 5 of Cups, and the Page of Cups. For your partner, we find the Moon, the High Priestess, and the Empress. For the synthesis, we find the King of Wands, the 9 of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. On your side, we find Talisman, and we find a new approach. And on the side of your partner, we find Cleaning House and Endless Blessings. Now let's get to what I see in the cards. I am going to read them like this. These 2 cards, and this is the synthesis for each layer of cards. Let me begin with the upper row. I see that you may be getting a new mental insight, or you may be trying to convince your partner to a certain way of looking at things. Now, your partner is highly intuitive. Your partner feels his way or her way through the situation, and navigates the unconscious aspects that are there. And the synthesis is that you together harmonize into a very powerful, energetic, leading and direction giving energy. So the two of you harmonize in a very positive way, even though there are a lot of unconscious things in your partner that he or she needs to clean house of. That's what this is about. And it seems that you're helping. The sword is in rituals like this is an atami which I created myself, and it's used to cut away energy cords or unwanted ties. And you can see this sword in that way, like you are offering a way of looking at things to help your partner cut away ties to the past or unwanted situations or things that are in his unconscious, and that makes the two of you harmonize very well into a very energetic, positive direction, which opens up for growth and the direction of energy. It's the harmonization of the two of you is really very capable in directing the energy flow where it goes, and therefore it is very healing for both of you. If we go to the next layer, we find the Five of Cups on your side, and I said this was the High Priestess. I am mistaken, this is the Magician. I was confused by the images in the cards. I don't use this deck too often. I should do it more. But that having said that, this means that your partner is, if you consider this card together with it, very creative, very able in harnessing the four elements in himself and in his or her life. You, on the other hand, you are still dealing with losses, but in this is the reciprocity in your relationship. In this layer, it is you helping your partner get rid of old baggage, and in this layer, it is your partner with his creativeness and his ableness to create abundance, helping you deal with the feelings of loss that you brought with you into this relationship as well. So there's a great deal of reciprocity in your relationship, you helping your partner out, getting rid of things, and your partner helping you out to see the abundance in life. Now, if we go to the next layer, we find the Empress, the Hierophant, and the Page of Cups. You are, because of this layer, learning about your feelings, learning how to deal with your feelings, a new approach to feelings. You also maybe expecting good news, maybe the birth of a child, but the Empress is usually depicted as a pregnant woman, so there may be pregnancy around the corner, and the Hierophant also oftentimes refers to marriage. So this may be a very serious relationship. It seems very harmonic, even though both of you have your own difficulties. You also see how you can help each other deal with them in a very positive way. So it may be that you or your partner is pregnant or will be pregnant soon, and there may be a marriage around the corner as well. Your partner feels extremely blessed with you. He or she is extremely happy and very serious in this relationship as well. And you treasure your partner like a talisman, like a token for good luck. It's almost as if you feel that your partner is your lucky charm. And he or she helps you to look at certain things in a different way as well. A new approach to certain situations, which makes you feel strong and capable of dealing with life. So I see a very harmonious and very serious relationship here. A great deal of reciprocity. Each have their own strengths and talents, and you complement each other quite perfectly, I must say. This really looks like a very stable, very fruitful relationship where both of you have opportunities for growth, and you help each other grow. This is an extraordinary, beautiful relationship, and it seems very serious. It might end in a marriage, or in any case a pregnancy even. This can also be not literally, but it can mean that the two of you together start a project or a business. That could also be the meaning of these cards in the last row. So it seems that you don't have very much to complain about. You have a very positive relationship. Both of you are very dedicated towards each other without being overly dependent on each other. Maybe you are a little more dependent on your partner than your partner is on you, but anyway, there is still enough balance in the situation that it is a very healthy relationship. So I congratulate you, because relationships like these are quite rare nowadays. So treasure what you have. This seemed like a wonderful, very beneficial relationship for both of you. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I wish you an amazing day. Be blessed. Bye. For those of you who chose the pink andara, this is your reading. So let's turn over the cards. We find the Hanged Man, the Ten of Cups, and the King of Wands. And on your partner's side, we find the Ace of Cups, the Four of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles. And the synthesis of the two of you is the Five of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, and the Two of Pentacles. And on your side we find the One Ring Circus and a new approach. And on your partner's side we find the Dragon's Lair and I had a little trouble with translating, but I think the best way to put this is setting a goal and working towards a goal. What I see here seems to be quite a complex situation between you and your partner, or the person that you aspire to be your partner. What I see, let me begin with the upper row. I see you sacrificing something. Maybe it's time, maybe this also is about stagnation. So maybe you want to move forward, but things are not moving forward. And I come back to this later, because there's some cards on your partner's side or your aspired partner that also relate to this card. Your partner, however, has the Ace of Cups, which means that he is discovering new feelings, a new way of dealing with feelings as well. But somehow these two things don't come together yet, and you, or maybe both of you, feel like you're out in the cold. You are dependent on the other to be able to move forward, and it doesn't seem to be happening at this point. There seems to be something that needs to be finished first, that's something that needs to be concluded first before the person that you are aspiring your relationship with is actually available. Now, this situation is complicated because you may have already started into this relationship based upon the attractions that you both feel towards each other, but I see on the side of this person, your partner, because this row represents you, that he's still not available yet. I feel like he's still dealing with a situation with his ex. He may be financially tied still, or he may still be in a relationship with his ex, or even married still. So he's not really available. He's not able to give all into this relationship, and this feels like a sacrifice for you. Because this relationship at this point is not exclusive, and it may be that he or she is holding off on this relationship because of this. It seems that you are very eager to get into a relationship with this person, but again, I see that the person that you are in love with or wanting a relationship with still needs more time to recuperate from the thing that he's working on. I mean, this dragon's lair, he is coming from a very bad place. He's coming from a difficult place, maybe a very nasty ex or a very destructive relationship, and he needs time to recuperate from that before he can openly give himself all into this new relationship. So there are trappings here. On the one hand, the past is holding him back. The things that he's still tied to his past. He's not free to do whatever he wants to do yet. Even though you're enticing him and encouraging him, possibly, come on, it will be amazing if we get together, look at these 10 cups, it's going to be wonderful, but he really needs more time, or she, before they can get into this relationship with you. He's very much tied. This card, usually the Six of Cups is about nostalgia and memories from childhood, but this shows a quite different picture. This shows someone that can easily be trapped in a swamp. So there's a definite warning coming off this card, not to get into sticky situations, but make a clear cut with the past first, and he needs to set his priorities, he needs to set his goals and tick them off one by one, take step by step to get this situation resolved before he can get into another relationship. So he needs to take things in order. It's going to be very, very messy if he's still connected to his previous relationship in some way and getting into a relationship with you, because it's not going to be like this. This is more what you aspire it to be, what you hope it to be, what you want it to be. Maybe you have this to offer, but he still needs to recover from this very clearly. There are feelings, there are definite feelings, but he needs more time. I'm saying he, but it can also be about a woman, of course. And we find the King of Wands on your side and the Seven of Pentacles on the side of your partner, and in between we find the Two of Pentacles. So it's not really a clear cut right now. You want to move it forward, you want to grow, you want to develop, you want to see where this relation can go, where you can take it, and you might even take the leadership role in it. But again, this card speaks of patience. he or she is still waiting for things to resolve, things to conclude, things to finalize before they can move on into this relationship with you. Because if they would, and even now in this situation, if you've already started, maybe there's already dating been going on, or maybe you've already shared some intimacy together, now there is this juggling in this relationship, because there is still this third party in there that needs to be resolved first. So I really should implore you to allow this person to take their time they need. I mean, if feelings are real, they are not going to dissipate overnight. They're going to be there even more if you allow them the time that they need before they can enter into a relationship with you. So don't rush it. Take it slow and let your partner or your aspired partner decide on the tempo. And that is about the new approach. You should change your approach to this situation, because I feel you're pressuring him, and that stems from the feeling that you are doing everything on your own. You really want a partner in your life. Maybe you have a hard time being independent, standing on your own 2 feet, and I speak from experience. It's not always easy to be in a one-ring circus, so to speak, but it's also very important to develop this part inside yourself. So for both of you, there's benefits if you don't rush this relationship. Give it time. Let this person tie up all the loose ends that need to be tied up and free themselves. And even if the relationship that they are in is concluded, give them some time to recuperate from it, because it's not going to be easy. And if you rush it, this relationship may not last, because he or she hasn't been able to totally recover and heal from this previous situation. So give it time. Respect that your partner or your aspired partner needs time to tie up loose ends and recover from the past. Otherwise, it's going to be a very sticky and messy situation, and it's not going to be as fulfilling as you want it to be, because there may be feelings of resentment there if you don't give him the time, he or she, that they need. So you don't want to get into a triangular love situation. So give this person the opportunity to set their own goals and take it step by step in the right order. So end one relationship first, recover, and then get into the next one. And don't try to hustle this sequence of events, because like I said, it's not going to end well. You really need to shift your perspective on this. There is no rush. Love, if it's real love, it's going to be there, no matter how much time this person needs. And even I would like to tell you, the more time and more space you give this person, the more grateful and the more deeper they can develop their feelings for you. So it's only going to be beneficial if you do. So I hope this gave you the insight that you needed, and I wish you an amazing day. Be blessed. Bye. For those of you who chose the golden andara, this is your reading. So let's turn over the cards, and we see the Page of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Three of Swords. We find the Temperance, the Six of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles. And the synthesis, this is your partner and this is you. And the synthesis is strength, the universe, and the Four of Pentacles. On your side we find into the unknown and enlightenment. And on the side of your partner we find spirit of place and a new approach. I see a very interesting situation here. It's also a bit complicated, so there may be more than one interpretation possible for these cards, but just let me begin. On your side we find the Page of Pentacles, and on their side we find Temperance, and in between we find the Strength card. Now, what does that tell me? That they are preserving something. They are saving up or preserving something. They are preserving. I think that is the best term to use. And in the same time, you are learning and building into a very strong basis for a relationship. That's what these two cards tell me. Both of you in your own way are working on a very solid and strong base in your relationship. He or she does it by preserving things, and you are doing it by learning things and taking a very slow and steady approach to the situation. Now, I also see a lot of signs that may have to do with travel, moving in with each other, but I see movement on both sides. On your side, I see the conclusion, the ending, the definite ending of something. A certain situation is going to end, and this card even suggest that it's you that is ending this dragon, this negativity in the situation. Something negative is coming to an end, which opens, of course, up a new beginning. On the side of your partner, we see the Six of Swords, which is a card of movement, moving great distances, leaving their location and moving away to another location. Very physical movement this is. And in between we find the Universe card, which is also about conclusion. Things are coming to a conclusion, things are wrapping up. A certain situation that has been up to this point is coming to an end. And it seems like you are the one who is initiating this ending. And your partner is very much willing to move. But also on your side, I see a card that hints to movement, into the unknown, going into a new place, something where you're not familiar, maybe a new country with new customs, new languages, where everything is new and strange and unknown. And yes, there's the spirit of place also. Your partner is moving away from a certain mindset that is in his own domicile, I should say, the place where he lives, he or she lives right now. He is moving away from it, and you are also ending something. Certain things are coming to a conclusion. It could mean that the two of you split up and both go your own way, but I see more the opposite happening. I see the two of you having maybe a long distance relationship and finally deciding to meet each other halfway and both moving out from the place that you are in right now. On your side we find the Three of Swords, and on his or her side we find the Seven of Pentacles, and in between we find the Four of Pentacles. And this tells me that there may be some disappointment on your part, that the financial situation isn't ready for this moving at this point yet. So the financial situation is a little behind of the feelings that you have. You feel that you've worked hard to create a very stable base for a relationship. You want to give it a try. You want to move in together, possibly both moving out of your current location and situation. But the finances aren't ready yet. You're still saving up, and maybe there's a little disappointment on your side, and well, your partner is doing their best to save up. They've been working very hard to save up some money to be able to do this. Maybe the two of you are buying a home or something like that, but of course you need money to do that. It seems that your partner is looking for a new approach to get this done, because I see a strong desire for the both of you to move in together, but like I said, the financial situation is not really supporting this at this point, and your partner is really trying to find a solution to this. On the other hand, you are very happy and enlightened and fulfilled even that this is about to happen, and maybe that is why you feel such a strong disappointment over the financial situation. But you may have to give it some time. Your partner is definitely working on it, and if you keep saving up your money, don't spend it, save it up, save up everything you can, the sooner you will be able to actually take this journey on together, and this long distance relationship will change. It will end into a maybe living together. I believe that is very much the case here. But both of you need to move out of your current situation. That is what I'm seeing in this reading. So give it a little time, and please support your partner, because they are also working very, very hard to get everything in order. Don't project this disappointment on them, because they don't deserve it. They've been working very, very hard, and I hope this reading makes clear to you that they really been taking their responsibilities, but I think you know that already. I don't think this is any new information for you. So all I can say, I wish you both the very, very best, and I hope you will be able to realize your dreams together very soon. And I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I wish you an amazing day. Be blessed. Bye. For those of you who chose the clear seafoam andara, this is your reading. So let's turn over the cards, and we find the Hanged Man. This is you, this is your partner, and this is the synthesis. We find the Queen of Cups, and we find the Five of Wands. On your partner's side, we find the Nine of Swords, we find the Knight of Wands, and we find the Hierophant. And the synthesis, we find the Star, we find the Three of Swords, and we find the Four of Swords. On your part, we find the Spark, and we find Breakthrough. And on the side of your partner, we find Metamorphosis, and we find Take Your Time. If I look at these cards, I find another complicated situation here. To begin with the Hanged Man on your side, combined with this Nine of Swords and the Star, I can see that you feel you need to sacrifice, or things are stalling or slowing down, things are going to a halt, and your partner or your desired partner is very worried about this situation because they are going through their own process. They are going through a very life-changing metamorphosis. They are really changing themselves in a way. They are going through that's what I was looking for, a transformational process right now, and it worries them that this relationship, or maybe this possible relationship with you, has to wait before this process is true. Still, the best of intentions are there, and there's a lot of hope still that this relationship will blossom. But it's going to take time, because I see that this person really needs to work through some issues of their own before they will be able to step into a relationship wholeheartedly. The best intentions, however, are there. Both of you are striving to the highest goal, but on your part it takes a form of sacrifice, maybe in the form of time, of a delayed start of your relationship. Even worse, I see that your partner or your aspired partner may even have to take a journey first. He may have to travel somewhere, and since you are very sensitive and very emotional, this really sparks inside of you feelings of disappointment and possibly even heartbreak. I feel that there is this sentiment: how can he go on a trip or move now instead of choosing me? So there is this feeling of disappointment, but I strongly feel that this is very much necessary for this transformational process that this person is in. And maybe they themselves are disappointed as well, because even though they seem to be moving away, because the direction this cat is moving is literally moving away from you, and that is being felt by both of you. I think both of you are not very happy with this situation, but in any case, this person very much understands that this is necessary before they can even begin to think about a relationship with you. And they really need to take the time to go through this transformational process. And that's why you feel things are slowing down and things are stalling. But you know, there is this spark, and there has been a great breakthrough. Maybe the two of you have been attracted to each other for a long time, and recently there has been a breakthrough. Maybe you've expressed your feelings and found out that they have feelings for you as well. But at this point, because of this transformational process, they are not quite ready at this point to step into a relationship with you. They are going through a spiritual process, and they really need to take their time and go through this themselves. In the meantime, I see you kind of calculating, trying to find out ways to get this relationship off the ground anyway, but the result is that you really need to wait it out. You really need to respect this process that this person is in right now. And if you do so, the fruits may even be so that this relationship may be so very serious that they're even considering a marriage with you, but they will need the time to get through this transformational process, and I feel it's a healing process. They really need to get through this, because if they would step into a relationship with you right now, this process will be disrupted, and this process will also weigh heavily in your relationship, and then it will become the basis of your relationship. And once this person is through this process, you will find then that your partner has changed and that the basis in your relationship is gone. So it is really crucial for you to give your loved one the space, the time, and all the room that they need to get through this process first. And you can still be there for them. You can still show that you still care for them, that you still love them, and but don't be too overbearing. Don't be too calculative in your efforts to get this relationship off the ground. Because if it's meant to be, it will happen in its own time. And if you try to force things, that's usually when things go sour and things go wrong, and there may be feelings of resentment in your partner. So you really need to give them time. And in another story, this may be about a breakup. Maybe you've been together already, and you've tried to make the relationship work, but it's not working because of the things that this person is going through. They need to go through it on their own, and that may be why there is this heartbreak, and maybe even a temporary split up between the two of you, for them to find their own footing again in the world before they can resume the relationship, or maybe find out that this relationship isn't what they needed anyway. So there's two stories here possibly. I do think the first story is the most strongest in energy, but since this card is here and you've tried to make it work, but there is heartbreak and possibly even a split up, things are on a temporary hold in the progress in your relationship, whether you are only beginning this relationship or whether you have already been in a relationship for a longer period of time. This process on the other person's side is very important. They really need to go through it, and they need to take their own time. And if they do it by traveling, it seems to me that is what they are doing. They are moving, they are taking on a journey or a trip, or maybe a trip around the world or somewhere. They're moving, and in that journey they will find the means that they need to transform themselves. For those of you who are a little more experienced in relationships, oftentimes relationships break up not because the love isn't there, because partners are growing in different directions, or one person is growing and the other partner is not growing as fast, and so there is this split up, and that can also be the case in these cards as well, that one of them is going through a process and the other one wants to stay in the same situation, and therefore you become slowly over time incompatible, which usually results in a breakup. Although I think, like I said, there are several stories here, so I would ask you to feel your way through this reading and see what you resonate with, and take that as advice, and leave the other things, because the other things may not be for you. So I hope this gives you some insight, and yeah, it's not always positive news. On the other hand, not all is lost. Things just need to take their course, and if you give this person the room they need, they will in any way think of you in a loving manner instead of a resentful manner. So I hope this reading was useful for you, and I wish you an amazing day. Be blessed. Bye.